Sylvia Lopez, a medical expert, took the stand today to defend AEG in the Jackson wrongful death trial. KCAL 9's Randy Page has the latest developments from the courtroom.
Throughout the wrongful death civil trial, Michael Jackson's performance has been compared to that of a professional athlete. Every spin and every move as physically demanding as the effort seen in Olympic competition. In June, Jackson family attorneys brought in an expert who used another sports analogy. Stanford University sports medicine director Dr. Gordon Matheson testified the relationship between Conrad Murray, AEG Live, and Michael Jackson is similar to that of a sports team doctor, the sports franchise, and an athlete, with the doctor being told to put an injured athlete back into the game by reminding him who was paying his salary. In his June testimony, Dr. Matheson said the inherent conflict of interest created by Dr. Murray's desire to please the company was likely to lead to poor medical decisions. Today, attorneys for AEG brought in their own sports medicine expert, Dr. Gary Green, who testified, "I disagree with Dr. Matheson's conclusions." Dr. Green, who is the medical director for Major League Baseball, testified the sports medicine analogy does not apply to this case. Dr. Green said this case is much closer to a traditional doctor-patient private practice relationship because, he said, Michael Jackson chose Dr. Murray to be his personal physician and Jackson was his only patient on the concert tour. Dr. Green also testified there was no conflict of interest because all three parties had the same goal, to make sure Michael Jackson was healthy enough to complete the 50-concert series. The facts are all of the parties wanted Michael Jackson to be in good health, Green testified. On cross-examination, Dr. Green was shown this opinion by the American Medical Association, which states large financial incentives can create an untenable position for physicians. Dr. Green testified that may be true, but he added a doctor's obligation to his patient outweighs any financial incentives, regardless of their size.
The blame for Michael Jackson's death falls squarely on the shoulders of Dr. Conrad Murray, in the opinion of an expert witness testifying in defense of AEG Live. Internist and sports medicine specialist Dr. Gary Green today listed reasons in rebuttal of a Jackson expert, Dr. Gordon Matheson. Matheson had compared Jackson to an injured athlete. He and his team may want him to return to play before he is healed. It's up to an independent doctor to say no. The AEG expert says Jackson was not a member of a team, but a private patient who had the right to choose his own doctor. Green highlighted evidence that AEG wanted to hire another doctor in London where the concerts were to be staged, but Jackson said he wanted Murray. Green cited privacy laws that Murray was obligated to keep the treatments of Jackson confidential. Green cited Murray's independent contract agreement. A term of his employment was that he provide professional service with the greatest degree of care. In the criminal trial, jurors found that Murray violated the standard of care. Green cited testimony about a meeting that followed Jackson's absence at rehearsals when he appeared to be sick. Murray, he says, exercised independence and did not allow Jackson to return to the stage until the star had rested. About the anesthesia that caused Jackson's death, Green pointed to evidence that Murray was ordering propofol and administering it to Jackson in April of 2009, weeks before AEG knew anything about Dr. Murray. But what about that email raised repeatedly by Jackson attorneys and now presented to Green? From one AEG exec to another about Jackson's absences, a directive about Dr. Murray. Quote, "We want to remind him that it is AEG, not MJ, who is paying him," unquote. Green testified that he had no reason to believe anyone told that to the doctor. Asked if he pursued more information from AEG execs to understand the email, Green said he did not. Questioned further about alleged AEG pressure on Murray, Green stated that, if anything, Murray was pressuring himself, providing Jackson treatments that violated his oath to place the patient first and violating prescribing laws at the same time.